honored to have with us Dr. Chérif Amir, Professor of International Relations. Dr. Amir, thank you so much for joining Wednesday Debate Live.
Thank you for having me.
What sort of messages that you have read earlier in the day, Professor Amir, talking about the president actually pointed that Egypt will always bear in mind the cohesion and the protection of the Arab nation, and this is mainly, of course, among the top priorities of the state.
Well, President El Sissi gave a new alert message to the people of the Arab nation, is that now that we are facing all these changes and turmoil in the whole world, you have to be aware as Arab nations that there are some cornerstones of civilizations among the Arab states. And Egypt is the main cornerstone of this civilization. And he, as the president of the biggest Arab country, and with this large history, he has the authority to tell them that you have to be aware that all what took place lately was aimed to destroy what has just been built among all these years. Now we are showing the world, and the president also had during many years of the conferences with the young people of the Arab world, telling them that we are rebuilding again our economies. We are rebuilding again our history. Nothing is too late. And yes. I think that the president who is from the new generation, he's telling also the Arab leaders, you have to listen to your young people. You have to work with them, because the Arab world is rich with oil, rich with all its resources and human force also. So the president was giving today a clear message that you have to use your potential. You have to work together inside your own country, because we are the hub of civilization. Egypt also is the hub of this civilization, as President Sissi promised since the first day in office, that the whole world will see the day that we will be again the hub of civilization. Of course, we have all difficulties. We are seeing now how Europe is suffering economically, and how the great forces in the world are now facing all these difficulties. And this is a message also to the people in the Arab world, that it happens everywhere. It's not because we are always condemned to live into agony. No, it happens in the history of nations. So the president was very clear that it's never too late to work together. It's never too late to rebuild.
Yes. His Excellency, the President, also was very clear and pinpointed the fact that Egypt will always be there, will always be present to support the Arab causes and the Arab people, and will open its doors to all the Arabs to defend their present, and also talked about the future of the coming generations. So as you said, Professor Amir, it's very important to pay attention to the youth, the Arab youth, and also listening to them, because we have a great model actually in Egypt, namely the World Youth Forum, where His Excellency definitely has provided a great example in that respect. You find the youth talking to the president without any sort of barriers, with full transparency, asking questions and more. So how do you see His Excellency pinpointing the future of the next generations in his speech, and also definitely also one of the core pillars of Egypt's foreign policy, which is supporting Arab causes and keeping our door open to all Arabs, defending their present and the future?
Well, as you said, these conferences with the youth, it was without any barriers, and it was direct live on TV. And it was never seen before in the history of the Arab world, even in the Middle East. We never heard of a president who asks the youth to talk, to speak, to express their anxiety, their concern. It never happened, unfortunately, before, but now it happens. And I think now that the president is talking clearly in front of all the Arab leaders, he's telling the youth again that you have the say. You will decide the future of your own countries. It is not the future, with all our respect to our friends in Europe, but the future is not in the West. It's not in Europe. It's not. It's in all your countries. You have the resources. You have also the responsibility. You're accountable as the leaders are accountable. You're accountable towards your own country. Don't listen to those who are trying to destabilize your future, to make you hate your own country and work against it. No, just understand that there are difficulties. You have to work with the government. We all know that there are barriers. We all know that there is heritage of many difficulties for the youth, but we cannot give up. And I think that the president, when he gave the speech in front of the Arab leaders, he gave it also as a sign for them, urging them to do the same thing, to listen to their own youth, to give them a place, as we have done here in Egypt. And for example, the conferences that we are now hosting in Egypt, like the COP27 and others, we are telling the world that we are going along with technology, we're going along with the new green energy. We are not behind the scenes. No, we are in the scene itself.
Yes.
So it's important that when President Abdel Fattah el-Sissi gives such a message, it's very important not to take it as it's just a political message for the leaders in a summit. No, it's also for the people, and not only the people of Egypt, but the whole Arab world.
Right. I thank you so much, Professor Dr. Chérif Amir, Professor of International Relations, for joining us on Nile TV International and highlighting his